praise to the Most High. Shalom, as always, we're going to start off with Colossians 3:17. Whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Shalom, in the name of the Lord and Savior. Giving thanks to the Most High and the Father. By Shalom, that's how we give thanks to the Most High by Mashiach Yahushua. He said, no man come to the Father but by him. So you ask anything in my name, I will do it. That the Father could be glorified in the Son. If you ask anything in my name, I will do it. If you love me, keep my commandments. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start off by giving thanks to the Most High power for everything. He's going to be praised for everything. And everything that we say and do is going to be in the name of the Lord and Savior. So we're going to the throne of the Most High, because that's how you reach the Most High. So I want to go over the laws today. I want to go over Deuteronomy 28th chapter and Leviticus 26th chapter. So we can look at these curses. We always say, we under these curses. So you can look at the curses, examine what it is that the Most High said he would do for us breaking his laws, statutes, commandments, which we did until this day, still breaking them, still justifying whatever we do in your own eyes, but not in the eyes of the Most High, whose eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun's, beholding all the ways of men and discovering mostly all the secret things that you do in your life. So let's look at Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1 and 2 is what we're dealing with now as the Israelites coming back to the laws of the Most High. Those that are going to be part of the 1/3, the 144,000 men, 12,000 from each of the tribes of Israel, coming back to the laws, statutes, commandments, doing what's right in the eyes of the Most High, and not necessarily man or woman or child how they feel, because that don't matter. They set up to send you straight to hell if they ain't dealing with, thus say the Most High. Believe that. So it tells you in Deuteronomy 28 and 1, it says, and it shall come to pass if, that's a condition always, thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power, who is our power, the Israelites, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power, so you keep saying your power, that possessive pronoun, your power will set thee on high. How high? Above all nations of the earth. So that's what the kingdom is going to be for the children of Israel. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee if, which is another condition, thou shalt hearken, meaning listen, unto the voice of the Most High thy power. And he told us we got to observe to do all his commandments. So we got to hear the commandments and do them. That's how this works. So you can read from 3 to 14 and you can see how blessed we're going to be in the kingdom and how blessed we can be in coming back to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, because he's saying this. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. The field is the world. And be blessed in the cities and blessed all over the world. But right now, since the Most High only have respect to Israel, you're speaking of all 12 tribes of Israel here, then we're going to see this in the kingdom. So let's go to verse 15. Like I said, you can continue to read these blessings, and you get a chance to see how it's going to be in the kingdom. Because we can't say that we're fulfilling these blessings nowhere as a nation in all these countries we've been scattered in. But in the kingdom, oh yeah, we're going to see it all. And then some. Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, that's a future prophecy. It shall come to pass in the future, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power. If you don't listen, and he told you in verse 2, if you hearken, listening to the voice of the Most High our power, to observe, to do. Now just listen, but you got to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So he gave us direct commandments, orders of what we should do and what we shouldn't do. And as we read the Bible, it's giving us clear understanding of what we should do and what we shouldn't do. But we chose not to follow the Most High and follow the way of the heathens. These other nations that didn't have the Most High, don't have the Most High to this day. If you're not of Jacob, you're not of Israel. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. You're not an Israelite. And that could be proven in Scripture. Now, I know it hurts a lot of feelings, but the Most High is like that. He had no respect to persons. He had respect to the nation of Israel. Exodus 2:25. So, Daniel's 9 and 11. This is what happened to us. Hold on to Deuteronomy. We're coming back to Deuteronomy 28th chapter. Daniel's 9 and 11. So, yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law. See, all Israel transgressed the law, even by departing. Now, all is a certain number. It don't matter by a certain number that created the judgment that the Most High brought upon us. Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us. And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we sinned against him. See? We're reading about it in Deuteronomy 28th chapter, 15 verse 9. And he hath confirmed his words. He hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. Bringing upon us a great evil. See, we didn't need to deal with evil in the beginning. Because remember, the Most High said, hey, don't eat of what tree? The tree of knowledge of good and evil. Just eat of the tree of life and live forever. But no, we chose not to eat of the tree of life, but to eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That's why right now we're learning perfectly about evil, because we in the day of evil, more so than any time on the earth, as it is written. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as has been done upon Jerusalem, as it is written in the law of Moses, where we at and where we're reading today. All this evil has come upon us. Yet may we not our prayer before the Most High our power, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. And the truth is the law. Psalms 119, 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. But we, you see what it said, that we might turn from our iniquity, and understand thy law, which is the truth. But no. Therefore hath the Most High watched upon the evil. That's why he created evil. But those that's going to break his laws, statute, commandment, do what he say not to do. Therefore hath the Most High watched upon the evil and brought it upon us. Hear that? The Most High watched upon the evil and brought it upon us. Oh, that ain't the Most High. That ain't the God I know. Oh, it is not. Well, it ain't the power that's in this Bible. Because what did he say? Therefore hath the Most High watched upon the evil. He watched upon the evil and brought it upon us. For the Most High, our power, is righteous in all his works, which he doeth. For we obey not his voice. See? Hosea 4 and 6. Hosea 4 and 6. Here we are today. Hosea 4 and 6. My people, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, are destroyed for what? For lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. You reject the fear of the Most High, which is the beginning of knowledge, to do what he say do and be obedient to him. He said, I will also reject thee. So you be a bunch of rejects. That thou shalt be no priest to me, so ain't nobody, so you ain't gonna be no priest to him. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. So any preacher out there saying that we're not under the law, this is what happens to us. This is why we're destroyed for lack of knowledge. So you can't be no preacher, can't be no minister, can't be no pastor, no preacher to him. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, the law of the Most High, who is the power of the Israelites. But I guess he wouldn't be your power if you thinking you're a Gentile being grafted in. You don't know who you was grafted in among, because you can't go to Romans 11 chapter and say you was grafted among the Jewish people, because they don't believe in the New Testament. They don't believe in your Jesus Christ. But yet still you teaching all these things, just regurgitating what you were taught all the way back from the religious instruction to the Negroes in the United States of America in 1620. Until now, you're still doing the same thing. I read that and looked at what you're doing to the people. That's why you say you destroy for lack of knowledge, because you tell them, teaching them that they're not under the law of the Most High. You tell them that they don't have to follow the Most High's laws. You know one that came up with these laws. Man didn't create these laws. The Most High created these laws. He said, I will also forget thy children. You hear that? It was a man's job to teach the children and the women to teach these children the laws of the Most High. And as they increase, so they sinned against me. Yet as we increase, we sin against him. Therefore will I change their glory into shame. That's why our glory men, our women is shameful. They don't know how to be eloquent as they were, as you read in the Bible, because of being in this world of evil. That's why everybody got to be transformed. Men, women, children, everybody got to be transformed into righteousness. Become that new creature, be born again. Learn the righteous ways of how we are supposed to be as a culture, as a people, and not as individualists and just do whatever you want to do, how you want to do it, think the Most High going to accept it. That's what you read about. That's why he said, hey, this is what happens to us. As we were increased in numbers, we sinned against him. That's why a bunch of rejects, because of the fact that you don't want to follow him. You might be accepted in the world, but the world's set up to send you straight to hell. How fast you gonna go there, you don't know. What day is determined for you to be here, to still be here when the Most High said, this the day you're gonna die. You don't know. None of us know. That's why we gotta do the best we can while we're in these temporary rented bodies that the Most High allowed us to have. Go back to Deuteronomy 28. Verse 16. Cursed shall I be in the city. That's wherever we go. We're going to be cursed. That's how you know who the Israelites are. They cursed in the city. Crying, we shall overcome. Crying, no justice, no peace. Being the last high, the first five. Drugs, gangs, guns, division, hating on each other. That's a curse. We see other nations come together, come into your city, set up businesses and everything. But we cursed. And cursed shall all be in the field. The field is the world. Wherever we at in the world, the Most High scatters all over the world, and we curse wherever we at. Like in India, they call the Israelites the untouchables. Used to make them wear a broom. I don't know if they still do it. Used to make them wear a broom behind their back, so whenever they walk, the brush of the broom can wipe away their steps. See, those things not shown. They want you to think everybody is about love. They're not about loving us. Verse 16, cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field, wherever we are. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Where are our corporations at? Where are our grocery stores that we can go to and say, this represent us, children of Israel? Judah, Benjamin, Levi, where are our grocery stores? Zebulun, where are our grocery stores? Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, where are our grocery stores? Where are our corporations? That everybody's, feeding all their money into our corporation. We don't have it. Because we didn't follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You gonna let somebody tell you ain't gotta follow him? You gonna come up? You're gonna come up where? You're gonna come up with the devil. You're gonna come up with the Most High and the Mashiach El Shai. But he tell you what happened to us. And what would happen to us? Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, that's your children, and the fruit of thy land. Fruit of our land. Where our crops, and we can go say, okay, let's go over here because they got thousands and thousands of acres of orange trees and apple trees and plum trees, and where is that at? That we can go and get that from our people. It's not there. The increase of thy kin and the flocks of thy sheep. Come on. We don't have near enough to even think about feeding our nation. Half our nation, 1/4 of our nation. We don't have it. Because we didn't follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High until this day. Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in. When you born, he said, cursed shall you be when you come in to this world. Come out of your mama's womb. And cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. When you die, you're going to still be cursed. Thou be buried among all the heathens and so forth. You even have your own burial ground. Some places they got a division where you can't even be buried over there where the Edomites buried. Don't want you nowhere near. That's dead people. What are they gonna do? Nothing. But you can't be buried where they are. Curse when you come in and curse when you go out. You're still degenerate to your enemies. The Most High shall send upon thee cursings, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thine hand upon for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. You get no clearer than that. See, the churches, they read the blessing. They go in there and read a blessing. Even though you're not blessed. Preacher is blessed. But you're not blessed like he is. But go into these curses. And you realize, even if you go to Deuteronomy 28 chapter period, Deuteronomy 1:1 said, these be the words that the Most High spake to Moses, to the children of Israel on this side of Jordan, the Jordan River, in Israel. So the book is talking to the Israelites, not no Gentiles that the preachers are telling you that you are. So you can't go here and say it's talking to you. So you can't go to James 1:1. The book of James, it says talking to you if you're a Gentile. Because it's to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered abroad. Greetings, brethren, he's saying, of his brethren, his people, the Israelites, who we are, people. So it's saying, you see what Moses said in verse 20, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. The Most High shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee. Pestilence, diseases. Look at all the diseases that they have in the world today. Some of them they create. But the Most High allowing you to get that, or that happened to you because of the wickedness of our doings. The Most High shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee. from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. You let them know, hey, I'm going to bring these diseases on you till he consume you, kick you off the land of Israel. The Most High shall smite thee with a consumption, and with the fever, and with the inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. These are plagues that he said he's going to put upon us. Smite us with consumption, consume us in all of this. Why? Because we refuse to follow the way of the Most High. We forsook the Most High. All these things happen to us. Who else could say it happened to them? He said, until thou perish, till I kill every last one of you. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. I mean, he can give us a hard life. The Most High shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. Man, powder and dust. I mean, you're going to send fire, lightning strikes, just burn up everything. Hurricanes, tornadoes, to destroy our land. The Most High shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. He said, I'm going to cause you to be killed before your enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. Go out one way against them and flee 7 ways. 7 ways. 7 different ways. Mighty warriors going out to fight. And the Most High said, I ain't going to be with you. I tell you just what I'm going to do. The Most High shall cause thee to be smitten, killed before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. It shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Yeah. Shall be captured and removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. That's why you got to gather us from all the kingdoms of the earth. So all you talking about some 12 tribes sign, mine said indigenous. Because we were on this land. We were the first ones on this land. We the ones set up the 13 colonies. Who was the first president? Talking about Obama's the first black president. That's a lie. John Hanson was the first president. Look at the $2 bill. He's right there on the $2 bill on the back. So our people what? Destroyed for lack of knowledge. And many more presidents after him. Before George Washington. See, John Hanson was made George Washington general. You know about that. You know, it's a book called Before the Mayflower by LaRon Bennett. Tells you and shows you in that book how we set up the 13 colonies. But what do we know? We don't know anything about that. That's why Most High destroyed us. Regardless of how much we accomplish, eventually these curses will come upon us. And they did. We very successful. Wall Street, Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. But what happened? It was destroyed. Most High said He's going to bring that evil upon us. Because, okay, they was there, but who was talking about the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua? And it's real truth. His laws, statutes, commandments. Or were they in wickedness? You see, if you want to eliminate him, He's going to let you know. He said, because you forgive me, get how high you get, I'm going to bring you down. Because the higher we get, the more prideful we get as a people. And that's not going to work with the Most High. It ain't work here as we reading it. It ain't going to ever work. So He be all in all. Because He said, my name is jealous. So when you get so high, you forget about Him, then who's the power? You the power. And the people look at you as the power. Therefore, you taking the place of the Most High, whether you want to accept it or not. He watching. He say, hey, you better give me all the praise. If you don't want to give Him the praise, you ain't saying praise the Most High. You ain't used to saying that because you accept all the exaltation that's coming to you. You gotta fall back before you be made abased. Hear what he said? The Most High shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Man, that's sad. That's real. Because he's letting us know, this is what I'm going to do. And he did it. During the time, many reading about Judah, Benjamin, Levi, when you read in Isaiah, Jeremiah, and so forth, a few of the other tribes that had enough sense to pull away from Jeroboam, wicked butt, and building 2 calves. Some of them were amongst us, but it was mainly Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Even when the Mashiach came on the earth. So we don't know this because we have been destroyed for lack of knowledge. It's crazy. Verse 26. And thy carcass, which is your dead body, shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall stray them away. So, I know one case scenario just happened when the Mashiach told us in Luke the 21st chapter. In verse 20, he said, and when ye see Jerusalem compassed with armies, the Roman armies, so-called Italian Caucasians, Edomite armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Know that you get ready to be destroyed. This place getting ready to be made desolate. When you see these armies, he said, then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, which will be running into Egypt. Right? If you look at the map, you see Israel is right close to Egypt, going into Africa. Israel really is in the continent of Africa anyway. They just call it the Middle East. And let them which are in the midst of it depart out. And let not them that are in the countries enter therein. So come back in. Get out of there. You see them armies, get out of there and don't come back. If you outside, don't come in, don't come back to the city. For these be the days of vengeance, that are all things which are written may be fulfilled. See? Verse 24, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. As we just said, he's going to send us into all kingdoms. What Mashiach is saying. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And that's what we're waiting on, for the times of the Gentiles to be fulfilled. So he told us this. We just, haven't really paid attention to it, like in Luke 19. And verse 43. Before he told us that the army's going to surround, he said, same case scenario. For the days shall come upon thee that thine enemies, so we call the Romans our enemies, shall cast a trench about thee and compass thee round. That's the armies compassing Jerusalem. He calling them our enemies. Because no enemy is going to do the things that we're going to hear about, that the Most High said in Deuteronomy 28 chapter would happen to us. It happened to us. Verse 43, for the day shall come upon thee that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee and compass thee round. So he said, we see the city compassed with armies. our enemies, and keep thee in on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground, carcasses, and thy children within thee, the children too. And they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. See? So let's look at Psalms. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28 to refresh our memory on what the Most High said. He said, Deuteronomy 28:26, he said, and thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away, right? So, look at Psalms 79th chapter. He said all that is written. So what's written in Psalm 79th chapter concerning what would happen to us when the Roman army surrounded Jerusalem and what they would do. Psalm 79:1, O Most High, the heathen, who are the enemies, who are the Roman armies that surrounded us, are coming to thine inheritance. Thine inheritance is inheritance what? The land of Israel. And the children of Israel. We are his inheritance. When you read Deuteronomy 28:8 and 9. Thy holy temple have they defiled. They have laid Jerusalem on heaps. So it can be laid down to the ground. The dead bodies of thy servants, the Israelites, have they given to be meat unto the fowls of the heaven, the flesh of thy saints unto the beasts of the earth. There he is. He told us what's going to happen. This would happen to us. Their blood have they shed like water round about Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them. Where I become a reproach to our neighbors, a disgrace to our neighbors, a scorn and derision to them that are round about us. Why are the Jewish people talking about this Holocaust if it was them? This is a true Holocaust. You know, this is before slavery over here in this Western Hemisphere. How long, O Most High? Will I be angry forever? Shall thy jealousy burn like fire? Pour out that wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee. Hear that? He said, pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee. And upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name. Look, we got to deal with that, because he said, pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee. Well, let's deal with that. These heathen that have not known the Most High. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. I wish brothers would see this, because it's very important that we could expose this fact. If they see it, then they will realize they're wasting their time in trying to get the heathen to know the Most High, who we serve, in His word. It's His word. Like Shai said, go to the children of Israel. Tell them the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So, Wisdom of Solomon 5 says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness, this is one, down, before the face of such as afflicted him, and made no account of their labors, of his labors, excuse me. So that's what's going on. And the righteous man stand in great boldness in the face of such as afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Ain't no reparation for us, for slavery. Nothing. They gave the Japanese 45,000, came back and gave another 5,000 for putting them in the little camps during the time of the war, World War II. So here we are, that worked 400 years, made no account of their labor. See? So a righteous man is going to stand in great boldness in their face. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. So now we're talking about when salvation is coming to the children of Israel. So far beyond all that they look for. So far beyond all they've been taught. You know, We can deal with what they've been taught when this happens. What they're going to be saying. But this is what they're going to be saying, but I'm not going to cover it all. You can read it all yourself. We jump to verse 7 for what we're dealing with here as far as is being said in Psalm 79 chapter, the 6th verse. Pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee. Known thee. To this point that he's speaking. And upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name. Right? These heathen kingdoms that have not called upon the name of the Most High. So listen to what it says. Verse 7. This is what they're going to say. As salvation is coming to the 12 tribes of Israel. They're going to say, we wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. This is key right here from what they just said. But as for the way of the Most High, as for the way of Hamashiach Yahushua, notice that when you call Jesus Christ, we have not known it. So all that teaching that you're dealing with in teaching them, they're going to still say, as for the way of the Most High, as for the way of Hamashiach Yahushua, we have not known it. No different than what you see in here. That's the end of the world. That's the end of Esau's world, at the beginning of Jacob's world, forever and ever and ever. So, this is what they're going to say. And it goes right along with what you see here. It says, pour out thy wrath, in Psalm 79, it says, pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee, and upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name. For they have devoured Jacob and have wasted his dwelling place. See? This is what they did. We fought from 65 AD to 70 AD with these heathens, the Romans. And we were brought down in 70 AD. Last dance was Mount Masada. We had to climb up, we was up on top of mountains. We had food that was preserved for 100 years. We had technology beyond imagination. Israelites, we the ones that created mostly everything. But all that creation that we had, being the chosen of the Most High, if we ain't followed the Most High, forgot the Most High, therefore what you see now, it is what it is. You see? They have devoured Jacob and laid waste his dwelling place. Oh, remember not against us former iniquities. Now we crying to the Most High. Don't remember our sins that we done before. Let thy tender mercy speedily prevent us. For we are brought very low. Oh yeah. Like you say, you're going to be scattered. Mashiach Shai said you're going to be scattered to all kingdoms. Because you know Israel didn't listen. Israel didn't want to listen. I do my own. I follow my heart. Follow my mind. The heart to see above all things. Desperately looking. Who can know? Help us, O Most High, of our salvation, for the glory of thy name, and deliver us, and purge away our sins, for thy name's sake. We're trying to use some type of spiritual awareness of what can touch the Most High's spirit. He is the spirit. See what he said? Help us, O Most High, of our salvation, and deliver us, and purge away our sins for thy name's sake. Wherefore should the heathen say, where is their power? Let him be known among the heathen in our sight by the revenging of the blood of thy servants which is shed. I mean, look what it says in verse 2. The dead bodies of thy servants have they given to be meat unto the fowls of the heavens, buzzards, ravenous birds was eating our bodies, the flesh of thy saints unto the beasts of the earth. Just like you said, their blood have they shed like water round about Jerusalem, like opening up a fire hydrant. That's how our blood was just flowing through the city. There was none to bury them. You know, our blood come out of the body, it goes out, so you got a lot of us that blood just flowed. Verse 10. Wherefore should the heathen say, where is their power? Let him be known among the heathen in our sight by the avenging or the revenging of the blood of thy servants, which is shed. So we done killed all your people. Where your power at now? Revenge the blood that we have shed. That's how proud for the heathen are. Then and now. Because, I mean, you look at it, even for now, I say for now, but look what's happening now. Right in our face. Zechariah 11:5. Zechariah 11:5. Tell me you can't relate to this. Whose possessors slay them, they kill us, and hold themselves not guilty. Isn't that the verdict? The cops kill us. You see it right on film, and the verdict is not guilty. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Most High, for I am rich. And that's how you got rich. By us being sold on auction blocks and working for free for 400 years. Kanye West got the nerve to say slavery was a choice. Are you serious? Wasn't no choice. Every time we was enslaved, we was still rebelling, going against being in captivity. You better look up the Gullah Wars. That's why slavery stopped. Not because no Lincoln having no Civil War. That's why slavery stopped. You better look them up. Study that. What they say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. How rich would you be if you had free labor for all these years? And everybody, all of y'all profited from free labor of slavery until this day. And their own shepherds, own preachers, ministers, up in these secular church, worldly churches that been set up with your 501c3s to have rules and regulations, what you can do and what you can't do, not to follow the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Pity them not. Where they at? I mean, where they at talking about it? You say, oh, they go out there. No major preachers at all. With the mega churches, where they at? They ain't preaching no sermons on this. They're afraid. That's why you're gonna find there's gonna be a judgment for that. It always has been. So you see, this what happened to us. Just as it said in Deuteronomy 28. Everything the Most High said is true and pure. Psalm 79. These are the only ones that was left that could say this. But it's prophecy of what they said. Like Hamas Jacob Shai gave us clear indication, because he was crucified approximately like let's say 29 AD or something like that. So, and he only lived 33 years. So this happened when they surrounded the cities, and this was happening when we're reading about this prophecy approximately 65 AD to 70 AD. We fought for 5 years. Just like when they came to get us in slavery over in Africa. We ain't just jump on no boats. Whose wars going on? Who's fighting? But how are you going to win when the Most High tell you what He's going to do? If you don't know this, then you see, okay, you're going to just do whatever your spirit will tell you to do. Protect yourself. But in the end, Most High said, I ain't with you. We got the power of powers of powers. See, I'm pulling back from you. Because you ain't want to regard me as your power. To do what I say do. Obey me. That's why verse 9 of Psalm 79 chapter says, help us, O Most High, of our salvation, for the glory of thy name. So we Yah Sha'ala. Say, for the glory of thy name. Let him be known among the heathen in our sight, by the revenging of the blood of thy servants which is shed. So let him be known in our sight by the revenging of the blood of his servants that was shed. But you understand, they didn't follow Most High's rules and regulations. So therefore, he already told us what he's going to do. Let the sign of the prisoner come before thee. According to the greatness of thy power, preserve thou those that are appointed to die. Save us. All the ones that's appointed to die. They were just killing us. Like, that's what I say, our blood flowed through the city like water. Y'all seen water running down the street? That's how our blood was running down the street. We crying out for the Most High to save us during the time that he said he's going to do this. Mashiach told us to do this, so millions of us ran into Africa. Some, some go stay back because they don't want to listen, like some of you don't want to listen now. Oh, you don't know what he's talking about. Oh, here go that Bible. That's all you got to talk about is that Bible. But when you start tearing your ass up, then what you going to do? You're going to start crying till we're going to laugh at you. He already told you, going to mock you. Why? Because you take it lightly. You don't fear the Most High. He's going to make every last person ever to come out of their mama's womb, out of their daddy's loins, to reverence him and to acknowledge him. And you're going to know that he is all in all. Point blank. I mean, you're going to be cleaving to us as the Israelites. Most High will, that we make it. We that are here today. Because it's not a certain that we're going to be those ones. We can come back with a Mashiach Yahushua. We in the third day. He said the third day he's going to raise us up. So that third day is 1,000 years. We in that 1,000-year period. 2,000 to 3,000 people. The Spirit of the Most High has to bring about a great change within our nation. And until that happens, you still have all these different Israelites that you read about in the Bible. They here. Those spirits are here, just got different flesh. Pharisees, the scribes, the chief high priests, the zealots, the ones don't believe in nothing, atheists. You got the Essenes. That's how Mashiach and his disciples were rolling, and the prophets and so forth. They were Essenes. They were about the people, looking out for each other and so forth. They here. You have those that cause division. Like it was when Mashiach walked the earth. He poured them out. Look at what we're saying. But see, whenever that pain comes, that suffering, that you being brought down, appointed to die, then you start crying to the Most High. But now you got it all going on. Or we got next, we gonna be this and we gonna do this and that. You ain't know where you gonna be at. Or let me know that you got your seat already in the kingdom already after you done went through 1,000 years of Mashiach teaching, and you gonna be there with the Most High. Without change. With the Most High gonna be all in all. You already know you gonna be there. If not, humble yourself down before the Most High humble you. I ain't met nobody say they know. But yet still you would think that they know, because the people have the same attitude as you do, and that prideful attitude before the Most High. And the Mashiach Yahushua and the angels. That's why he on this earth. Verse 10, wherefore should the heathen say, where is their power? Let him be known among the heathen in our sight, by the revision of the blood of thy servants which is shed. You think that's something new? You better understand. You overstand. Revelation 12:12 and Revelation 12:17. I can't go there enough. Same thing is then, the same thing that's coming. It's on its way. Just like rehearsing, we look at Zechariah 11:5, who possess us, slay us, kill us, and hold himself not guilty. What's the verdict all the time? Not guilty. That's why it tells you, look. Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the woe means destruction to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. This is why. Because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So he know he only have a short time. So, verse 17, and the dragon, which is the devil, which is Satan, which is the beast, which is the serpent, which is the dragon, and Esau, because they all what? Red. And the dragon was wrought with the woman. The woman represents Israel. Jeremiah 62, the Most High is likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. This for us, Israelites. And the dragon was wrought with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. The 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's the remnant of the 12 tribes of Israel, which keep the commandments of the Most High. Do the churches, Baptists, Church of God in Christ, or Catholic, all of them keep the commandments of the Most High? No. They're teaching that you don't have to keep the commandments of the Most High. We're not under the law, but we under mercy and grace, and we Gentiles. We engrafted in among whom you don't know, because you ain't never asked. Silliness. That's why Most High call us Silas children. And I'm just, serious, because I love Jacob. I love my people, but I hate to see my people being destroyed.